Hi, I'm Rob Covino, and this is Mirus Industry Analysis, August edition. Well, the month of August has been interesting. As operators settle in for the new financial year, we're starting to see the results of that occur. ADS has trended slightly up for the year, but also for the month of August. And we can see, though, for private operators, we've had a slight decline in the overall ADS. However, private operators are still leading the charge at roughly 190 ADS a day payments. Occupancy across the segments has also been a bit mixed. We've seen overall the not-for-profits still leading the charge at roughly 93% of their beds filled. However, the private operators have seen a slight decline in their occupancy levels across their beds. Overall claimant activity across the industry has also slightly declined, as well as voluntary claimant activity for all three segments: for-profits, not-for-profits, and the overall industry. We can see that the average percentage of claims for profits has slightly declined to 12.7%, whereas the average voluntary claims, those are claims that are not mandated by the Medicare business rules, have slightly declined to 4.2% for the for-profits. The other statistic that we watch closely is the average age of claims that are greater than 12 months that are addressable. So that's excluding your high highs or high medium high that cannot fall into a business rule outcome. In this segment, we've seen a bit of a mixed outcome where not-for-profits and for-profits have both gone backwards, 2% for the not-for-profits with 1% for the for-profits. We can infer that from this statistic that overall, providers may be addressing some of their voluntary activity towards their older claims that are outside 12 or even 2 years. This is perhaps in response to some of the new validation rules where a provider would lose their funding going back to the data submission if a claim was to be reclassified. In the complex healthcare domain, we have seen further retreat across all procedures in this domain. Specifically, we can see the pain management procedures continue to decline across all segments, both the industry, for-profits, and not-for-profits. The private operators have declined the most, with the pain management claim procedure 3 declining by about 2.1% of their overall claims in Medicare. The 4B claim for private operators was second with the greatest decline, about 1.32% of their overall claims. Overall, though, the most significant retreat in complex healthcare claims came from the private operators, where it relates to pressure area care. This claim alone reduced by 2.1% as an average claim across the segment of July for private operators. Our final graph to part with today is a historical graph on care-related costs to permanent subsidies that providers have been claiming since 2006. We can see from this graph that since December of 2015, the care-related costs continue to outweigh and grow faster than the permanent care subsidies have been growing with providers. From this, we understand that from other sources of EBIT or performance of a facility's financials, that some facility and operators are finding it much tougher. As a result, this leads providers to look for other sources of revenue, but it's important that providers understand that they follow the additional service fee legislation, as well as other areas to find income for their businesses. Thank you again for the time today. Until next month, I'm Rob Covino, and that's Mirus Industry Analysis.